So there was like talk about more of the topics there with you, Abdullah Mason. Recently, there was a video released their fight hype and everything like that. It put out this
Yeah.
thing here of you doing work with Floyd Schofield Jr. and sparring. Now, months ago, there was some buzz about you and him potentially having a fight, but Schofield, signed a promotional deal, multi-fight promotional deal, and had his fight here with Tevin Farmer. Now, I know your theme is that you have an appetite for smoke. So would you like to mix it up with Scofield Jr. after this year?
One thing I can say is, they ducked when we did send them an offer, but you know, yeah, I'm focused on my title right now. But anybody, who's willing to step in the ring with me, I'm definitely, would love to make any of these fights happen. Like you said, I got an appetite for smoke for sure.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. And there's been a lot of action there in the lightweight division recently. And we got more fights coming up soon. You got Shakur Stevenson and William Zepeda coming up next weekend.
Yeah.
You got Tank Davis and Lamont Roach is scheduled for August. And we could also see Ray Murray and Andy Cruz get in the ring later this year. Now that you are on the verge of fighting for a world title, where would you say that you're ranked in the division right now?
Um, right. I mean, right now I'm number one at ready for that title. So when I get that title, I'll be up there with all the rest of the champions. I'll be able to face anybody.
Yeah, yeah, for sure, man. It's about getting that WBO title, handling that business there against Sam Noakes, and then after that, it's like, hey, unification time. If it's out there, you can get it. Because I know
Yeah.
you said in the past that there was like one thing that stood out from a conversation between, at the time Shakur Stevenson and Keyshawn Davis when both of them were at the lightweight division and saying that, hey, they wouldn't fight each other, but you don't have no friends in this game, no brothers unless it's your brothers, you know what I'm saying, the Mason Five and everything like that. So you ain't like in a sense where, oh, it's my friend, we ain't gonna fight each other because that's my friend. You don't even have nothing like that.
No, I mean the only people I won't fight is my brothers.
Yep, that's the thing. That's the thing, man. Yeah, you want everybody that's out there that don't have the
Well,
last name Mason, then yeah, you'll be
yeah.
going after them. You feel me? Yeah, for sure. Now, I talk about the thing there with your brothers there. Of course, you got Adele, Abdur, Amir, and Ibrahim. Man, they've been doing their thing in the ring and worked out with you in the gym. Alongside your father there, who guys all of y'all, man. So, what has been the biggest thing that has stood out having your four brothers boxing with you?
Um, Man, I feel like just the smoothness, in my training camp, I feel like they all go smooth because of my brothers and my family. Everybody put in they little piece and it all come together real good. So I feel like that's probably one of the good things.
Where I know that y'all had like a presentation, special presentation that was there through Top Rank, and you had like a couple of those moments there, like how y'all prepare yourselves and things like that, and they had one thing there where y'all were trying to find the keys and couldn't find the keys or whatever
Yeah,
it was,
right. Yeah,
and things like that. So you kind of like had those moments. It's like, oh snap, man, we ain't got the keys. You got to find the keys. Oh, there you go.
yeah,
You know what I mean? So that kind of having those moments there, and also having a bond with your brothers and your father, of course. Shout out to your father there, man, brother Valiant, and just having that bond and doing things there, preparing for all of those fights. That's something there that kind of like gets y'all going once y'all do have y'all fights that are coming up.
right. No, for sure, for sure. Yeah, I'm grateful for it. Grateful for it all.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. I think your brother Adele has something coming up himself here. I think it's next month, if I'm not mistaken. So we gotta see what's going on with that. I think it's supposed to be scheduled for August 30th, if I'm not mistaken.
Everything, we're gonna put all the information out on everything. Just make sure y'all follow our social media, Mason Brothers Boxing, and anything that we have, we make sure to put it out in due time.
Yeah, no doubt, man. So just got see if I could have like a couple more questions here.
Yeah.
One, since you're there, around like 2021 and things like that. Outside of boxing, do you like do other sports or play other sports, or do you like do the video game joint or anything like that?
Not right now. Right now, we focusing on grabbing the world championship. Grabbing this title, bringing it back to the land. So it's just focus right now. let's just focus on that.
Word, for sure, man. And if you are like, I mean, sometimes being from the land and everything like that. Of course, you got the tide in there with the Cavaliers and everything like that. Who would you say is your favorite player on the team if you have one on that team?
Today I'm only talking about boxing. I'm only
Okay,
talking about
okay.
boxing today.
All right, gotcha,
Yeah.
gotcha, gotcha. So we'll just note that on that front, man. But
Yeah.
anything. All right. Here's something that I ask boxers. All right, outside of yourself,
Yeah.
outside of Abdullah Mason, Abdullah Mason, Abdullah Mason, Abdullah Mason, and Abdullah Mason, who are the top 5 pound for pound fighters in the sport right now?
Um, Man, I don't know. I feel Crawford and Canelo, both of them, they definitely at the top of the sport right now.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I feel like those are only two that's solid that you could say. Well, in my eyes, they did what they had to do in the sport. They on their way out probably. And I feel like they're at the top right now. Both of them facing each other.
Mm, mm. What about like Naoya Inoue or Alexander Usyk or maybe what I mean?
I mean, Canelo and Crawford. I feel like they solidified themselves in the sport of boxing as those guys. In their time. I feel like everybody else is still ongoing. They working their way up, even if they are at the top of their divisions right now or at the moment. But everybody's still, early or in the prime of their careers. I feel like Crawford and Canelo, they are the ones that's on their way out, but they solidified. They did everything they had to do. The great performances. They had those, big fight cards. So I feel like by the end of it, they'd be the Hall of Famers in boxing.
Word, for sure, for sure. We gonna find out, who's gonna come out there on September 13th with that fight. But we're definitely looking forward to seeing what's happening with Abdullah Mason here in this upcoming bout of CM Noakes. We got good time for that fight to happen. So a couple months from now, we're gonna see Abdullah Mason locked in, ready to prepare for a world title shot and to win the world title there. But big thanks for chopping it up here with the boxing source, and definitely thankful here. And we're gonna see more from you here real soon.
Yeah, no, I appreciate you. Thank you.
All right, no doubt, my dude.